They flew in from the mountains and the valleys, which run through much of eastern Afghanistan. A steady stream of helicopters, loaded and in many cases overloaded, with the survivors of a terrible earthquake. Thousands have been injured, and many hundreds dead, say officials, after the earth began to shake just before midnight. In a village called Mazar Dara, injured residents have been moved into a field turned impromptu hospital, where young and old now wait for help. The earthquake began when most were asleep, insubstantial buildings made of brick and mud and wood falling inwards, burying their occupants inside. Here we see people trying to dig out their loved ones in the dead of night with little more than their bare hands. And dozens of people are still missing, say residents in Mazar Dara.
The entire village has collapsed. Children are trapped under the rubble. The elderly are under the rubble. Young people are under the rubble. We need help here. We need people to come and pull out those buried beneath the debris.
The terrain here is rugged and communications are poor. Landslides have destroyed roads and in some cases entire communities. Locals report some 250 casualties in this spot alone. This is my village, says this man. It's collapsed now.
We're hearing families and children are sleeping outside in the open air, terrified of more aftershocks. Children are crying through the night in fear. And essentially, this is a community that went to bed one night and woke up to find their world in ruins in the middle of the night.
The UN and the Red Crescent have begun to implement their emergency response, but the governing Taliban will struggle to cope, although their officials were filmed placing some bread in a helicopter. Afghanistan is desperately poor, receiving little assistance from the international community, while millions who fled the country in fear of the Taliban are being forced to return.
That's a country that is already suffering from a multiplicity of crises. There's a big drought. Iran has sent back almost 2 million people. And of course, it's extremely difficult to mobilize resources because of the Taliban. So it's a perfect storm. And this earthquake, likely to have been quite devastating, is going to just add to the miseries.
With little hope of immediate assistance, some communities have begun to bury the dead. Another catastrophe in a crisis-ridden country where many hope for little more than survival. John Sparks, Sky News.